Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm very excited because we are going to be doing my book review on The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. This was one of my most anticipated reads of 2022. Riley Sager is a master of twisty endings and leading you in one direction and doing something with his hand behind his back and having something totally convoluted and out of nowhere pop up within his novels. It's a style I really like, especially in his books Home Before Dark and The Last Time I Lied. Especially The Last Time I Lied. That was the first book I ever read by Sager, and it really took me on a journey. That twist fully blindsided me. I couldn't believe it when it happened, and ever since then I've been really interested in Riley Sager's writing. I know a lot of people aren't always his fans because he does twists. The twists sometimes, like Survive the Night, you can see coming. Sometimes you can't see him at all. This one is interesting. So let's read the inside flap of this novel. So it says, "Be careful what you watch for." Casey Fletcher, a recently widowed actress trying to escape a streak of bad press, has retreated to the peace and quiet of her family's lake house in Vermont. Armed with a pair of binoculars and several bottles of bourbon, she passes the time watching Tom and Catherine Royce, the glamorous couple living in the house across the lake. They make for good viewing. A tech innovator, Tom is powerful, and a former model, Catherine is gorgeous. One day on the lake, Casey saves Catherine from drowning, and the two strike up a budding friendship. But the more they get to know each other, and the longer Casey watches, the more it becomes clear that Catherine and Tom's marriage isn't as perfect as it appears. When Catherine suddenly vanishes, Casey immediately suspects Tom of foul play. What she doesn't realize is that there's more to the story than meets the eye, and that shocking secrets can lurk beneath the most placid of surfaces. Packed with sharp characters, psychological suspense, and gasp-worthy plot twists, Riley Sager's The House Across the Lake is the ultimate escapist read. No lake house required. So I loved the first half of this book. I was fully engrossed in this book. I read it in literally like 2 days. I didn't want to put it down. I thought it was very fast-paced, well-written, and really gripping. I will say this is a story about rich people doing rich things, which is a little different because he, I feel, usually writes from a more average person's perspective. But I did really like the idea of the former model befriending the, like, shamed actress. I really liked Catherine. I really liked Casey's character. Casey is a very flawed main character. And a lot of this book pays very direct tribute to Rear Window. It even says so several times in the book. But this book gets to a point right after the halfway point where it goes from just 0 to 60s, from psychological suspense thriller to just absolutely ridiculously bonkers. And I don't actually know if that is a good thing. And I think what I found interesting about this book is Riley Sager so often relies on his twists taking place in the realm of possibilities. And I think that's what makes his books so compelling to me, is that, yes, in Home Before Dark, you might think that the house is haunted, but maybe it's not, kind of thing. In this, the twist you couldn't predict happening because it is based in the supernatural. And this is the first time I've ever seen Riley Sager really lean heavily into dependency on the supernatural. And I feel like that didn't work for me. I really wanted this book to be a full just psychological thriller. But the fact that he did introduce this kind of folklore narrative to the book, I think actually cheapened it for me, because I know he's so good at making you think something is happening that could be in the realm of supernatural, but then kind of pulls back on it. But the fact that he really leaned into the supernatural this time, I just didn't vibe with it. That being said, I still loved the mystery. I still loved reading about these like bizarre upper class characters and their like first world problems. Like, it was really interesting. And that being said, the twist I thought was unique. The more I thought about the twist, the more plot holes I found in the first half of the story, to the point where I almost think maybe he wrote it without the supernatural to begin with and couldn't quite stick the landing, so he went back and revised the second half of the book. I don't know, there was a disconnect once that twist was revealed. That being said, I absolutely didn't dislike this book. It is a fun, cheesy, ridiculous, over-the-top read. It's an amazing beach read. Again, I didn't want to put the book down. The pacing is absolutely fantastic. The cliffhangers, the uncertainty that you get, just boom, 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 boom. Very much in Riley Sager fashion. This one just, I read the twist and was just kind of like, okay, that's where we're going with this. It wasn't like a, oh my god, like let me see how all of that came to be and just unraveled before me, which is how I feel with most of his other novels. But this one, not so much. And I will say, he laid all of the information we would have needed to come to the conclusion of the twist right before our eyes. Like, it was there, which is something I do appreciate about Riley Sager's. Usually when a twist comes, you can look back and see, like, okay, this made sense. But because I never would have taken the supernatural route with this, looking back, yes, all of the info is there, but the just disconnect between what is possible in the realm of reality and what they did with this novel just really grinds my gears, I think. And I think there's just a couple like red herrings in this novel that just didn't work for me. Usually with Riley Sager books, the red herrings, they're very blatant. Like, you sit there and you're like, yep, this is it. This is what's happening. These are the culprits, right? And then all of a sudden it's like, no, they're not, right? And this absolutely does it in this book, but the red herrings, to me, because he goes in such a different route, don't quite make sense. Like, they're almost there just to be a distraction, whereas the red herrings in all of his other novels are there to add to the overall plot of the story. There are certain characters in this book that, like, really don't even need to be in the book, or they're so minor that it doesn't really matter. There's strange plot points that, like, honestly add nothing to the book for the most part. Like, there's one main character that I truly, apart from just being a red herring, I don't think they need to be in this novel at all. So I don't know, but I will say the atmosphere in this was fabulous. It did make me want to be on a lake in Vermont in the summer, or in the fall, actually. Both, to be honest. I really, really liked the isolation of it. I really liked that the entire story pretty much is consolidated to being on these houses on the lake. There's a couple like background pieces that happen to get you to these characters on the lake, but I thought it was really, really fun. So this was a 4-star read from me. I feel like had we not gone in the direction that the second half of the book had gone, this would have been a 5-star read for me, because again, this is fun to read. There is nothing insightful about this. There is nothing groundbreaking about this, but this is a very, very fun, twisty-turny book to read. So if that's something that you want, like a light read thriller that you might be disappointed in the craftsmanship of the twist, pick this up, because I wouldn't want to discourage anybody to read it, but it is definitely not Sager's best, though it's also not his worst. I definitely liked it, I think, a lot more than Survive the Night, primarily because I figured the twist out and Survive the Night like halfway through the book. This one did not see coming. I just wish there was a way to do the twist that they did without it being supernatural. I feel like the twist was really damn cool. I don't want to give anything away, but I wish there was a way to have made it not supernatural. And I feel like there were definitely ways that it could have done that, and I think I kept waiting for that to happen, for them to be like, haha, the supernatural effects of this are fake. It's all in your head kind of crap, but it wasn't. And I just kept waiting for that, but that's okay. I don't want to discourage anybody to not pick this up, because I do think that this was really fun. If you like Riley Sager's writing, you'll probably really like this. Not his best, but still a great, like, summer beach read. Like, you'll just devour this. The pacing is so fantastic in this book. And the main character, Casey, is just such a weird character to read about, and I just really, really liked her for some reason. She's so flawed. And she makes some of the dumbest, most irrational decisions, and she just, like, sticks to her guns on it. So I just really, really enjoyed reading about her, I think, and I do kind of want to live in her house. Anyways, that is all that I have for you guys today. As always, I post every Monday and Thursday, sometimes on Saturdays, and if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe buttons down below, and I will catch you all in the next one. Mwah.